Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So let's just jump into it. The economy sucks, okay? It ain't shit. So what we gonna do? I'm gonna put y'all on. I did not realize that a lot of people did not know that staffing services existed, let alone that a lot of staffing services are tailored to pretty much everybody's industry. If there is a occupation that you're in and you need a job, staffing services will definitely help. Let me just say, the economy, the unemployment right now is skyrocketing. Okay, we have from Disney laying off, from Zoom, from Twitter, from Facebook, from 3M, PayPal, whatever. It's like they're continuously just yanking jobs. Okay, they just yank, taking them away, and people are suffering. So like, let me put y'all on to staffing services. I have been a contracted worker through a staffing service for over 10 years, off and on. Okay, between those years, I've had those assignments turned into long-term employment with these companies. And of course, just like right now, companies make these rash, huge decisions that impact thousands of people's lives. And so with that, one position laid off, one position hours cut. So I completely understand. And so that's where staffing services definitely come into play. It will definitely help you get your foot in the door, at least find employment until you can find something else that's long-term. Now, with staffing services, there's the pros and there's the cons, okay? And we will definitely discuss the pros and the cons of staffing services. But the important thing with that is we need to work. And I think staffing services is the fastest way to be able to get that, because you don't have to interview. Let me go back a little bit. Majority of the time, you do not have to interview with the jobs, with the placements, right? You interview with the staffing service. They do all your paperwork. They do everything for you, and you're gonna get paid through the staffing service. You're just a contracted worker. That's W-2. And what's going to happen is there are some jobs that you will have to do one-on-ones or face interviews with. So let's talk about the pros of staffing services, okay? One, the variety of career opportunities. So there are an array of jobs that these agencies are able to put you on, from nannies, okay, from staffing services that, cater to nannies and to housekeepers and things of that nature, to hospitality, to even, law, and tech, healthcare, any kind of, I wouldn't say any, just about a chunk of occupations, staffing services would be able to, place you. So I think that is a major plus, especially if you're trying to learn a skill. It's easy to gain through a staffing service. Tidbit for me, I am a contracted worker that deals with accounting. Now, girl, I do not have not one degree, diploma, certificate for accounting. I don't even like accounting. However, it was placed in my lap due to me going through a staffing service. They thought I would be great for the job due to my skills, me being a quick learner, and me having a strong work ethic. They were able to place me at a entry-level accounting type position. And from over the years, it just kept growing and growing, and I got more and more money. So it's a great way to get your foot in the door when it comes to learning new skills and being able to take advantage of being placed in certain positions, and you'll be able to gain more and more. I absolutely love it. That's one of the things that I absolutely love, knowing that it's endless opportunities when it comes to that. Jobs are like trials. So you're going in and you're with a company. You're not feeling it. It's not for you. So what do? You call your staffing accountant, your account manager, and you let them know, hey, it's not for me. It's not meeting my expectations. Can you find me something else? And guess what? They will. The whole point is finding matches, not only for you, but for the company. So if it's not going to work out, cut your losses. You don't have to stay somewhere that you're not happy with. You just have to be able to communicate that with the staffing service, especially the people that are your account holders, pretty much, and let them know, this ain't it, sis. You need to move me. And they will. No issues. You just have to be transparent. You have to be open and communicate what you need, what you want, and they will be able to, if possible, go off of your list. You just have to make sure that you let them know. Use your voice, pretty much. Just use your voice, and they will be able to help you. And like I was stating before, you're gaining skills. You're gaining skills in all of these industries. If you find a place where it's like, I want to learn more about, I want to dive more into tech. Okay, try to go to a staffing service that deals with tech. They should have some entry-level positions like call center or things like that, and they will try to place you. Just know this: you have to have some type of skills, transferable skills, or something that will help them, because they have to go into these companies and they have to basically hype you up. Okay, they have to basically let them know, hey, why you're a good fit. They're pretty much interviewing for you, unless the company is requesting to speak with you personally. They're the ones going in, they're the ones putting their good foot forward. So you have to be 200% when it comes to this. Okay, I know I've dealt with this. I've been very I have a strong work ethic. People speak highly of me in a lot of companies that I've worked for. So you have to really, build a great rapport with the staffing service so you can be pretty much on top of their list. I'm giving you gems here, okay? I'm giving you tips and tricks and things of that nature. So once you get into this, and it's very simple, don't think this is going to be a hard thing to do. Of course, be yourself, be professional, and build a rapport, not only with the staffing agency to get you good placements, but also if you do speak with these companies, that you're just basically putting your good foot forward. There you go. Next is the different categories of work statuses. So if you're in the process of, if you lost your job, but you're like, something, I'm going to go back to school. I just need something that's temporary. I don't want to be hired on, or I need something that's, part-time, or something that's seasonal. You have to be able to voice that so they'll be able to know how to place you. The statuses are temp to hire, and direct hire. Some temp services do offer, I think, a few other categories of statuses. But for me and what I know personally, these are the ones that I know of. I usually deal with more so the temp side, where I'm just a contracted worker. I'm not on their payroll. I'm not trying to be on their payroll. I'm just there to make money, learn some skills, and move on to the next. Okay, that's all that I'm trying to do. That's all that I'm trying to do. And and if that's what you're trying to do, I ain't mad at you. Okay, learn them skills, gain them skills, and move on to what you really want to do. Okay, so that's definitely some pros that you need to look into. These will help in the long run. These will definitely help you get to where you're going, get you a job, okay, help you make some point, and all of that jazz. Let's talk about the cons. Okay, let's talk about the cons. Benefits. Okay, when it comes to staffing services, they do offer benefits. However, they are not good benefits. It's basically just saying, like a piece of paper saying, yes, I have benefits, but it doesn't benefit you because it really doesn't cover much of anything. So if you go to the doctor, they're not going to accept it. So unless it's changed and, some temp services have elevated their benefits, I wouldn't even try to go after it. Just, if you can't get benefits, just don't, or try to go through the state to get it. But for the most part, the benefits are not that great when it comes to staffing services. But you just have to, if you have to get with the state, get with the state, but the benefits are not worth it. To me, they're not. Next, pay consistency. So sometimes you feel like you're on cloud nine, right? And you're getting paid, let's say you're getting paid $20 an hour. It's like, wow, that's a pay bump for me. But then all of a sudden your assignment ends. That's also a con, but we're going to talk about that in a minute. But if your assignment ends, then you find another assignment. Now all of a sudden you're back to 16, or you're down to 17. So the pay will not be consistent due to the fact you're working for different companies and all of their pay rates are going to be different. So your expectations of pay, you can give them a pay range. If you're okay with staying in a pay range, let them know, hey, I don't want to work any positions that's under, $18. And they will do their due diligence and they will try their best to find you something. Sometimes it may take a little longer, but for the most part, they will find you something that will be comparable or, close to, or even on the money. So you have to be open to knowing that your pay will fluctuate. But at least you're going to get paid. That's all I'm going to say. As long as you're not unemployed and you're making some money, hey, that's great. Also, when I mentioned as far as like assignments, sometimes, with the assignments, they're short term. They're short term. Some of them might be a couple weeks, some might be a couple months, some might say, hey, we need such and such for a year. Sometimes those couple months may extend. So you have to always be on your toes when it comes to, working and knowing that your assignment may change any minute. So for me, the assignment that I'm currently on was only supposed to be for a few months, but they like me, and so I'm there, and I've been there for almost, I believe, five months. And it'll probably go on probably a couple more months, maybe a year. It really depends on them and their budget, but for me, I'm not trying to stay there for a year. I'm not trying to stay there that long. It's great for the moment for me, but for the most part, you just have to be on your toes. You're just gonna have to know, hey, my assignment may be over, but guess what? It's okay. As long as you're building that rapport with your accountant, your account managers, the staffing managers, they'll find you something. You're gonna always be on the list when it comes to opportunities. Okay, that's just a tip. Build that rapport is very important. Availability, like I was saying before, if you're coming into this, especially depending on the industry you're going into, sometimes it's easier to place certain industries than there are others. Like there's going to always be manufacturers, there's going to always be factories, there's going to always be healthcare, and there's going to always be like some type of accounting positions. But anything that's kind of in between those is going to probably be just a little tad longer, or they may even have jobs that's not even on their websites that's open. And that's the good thing about staffing services. Jobs that you probably didn't even know existed, or even companies that you didn't even know existed in your state, you'd be like, where'd this come from? I didn't even know they were here. I didn't even know they had a facility here. I didn't even know they had an office here, and they want you. That's even great, because now you're able to, once you get into these positions, now it's up to you to kind of figure out how to make them hire you if that's something that you want, or, you know, just gain those skills for the next job that comes around. So, you know, the availability may not always be there, but if you sign up for multiple staffing services, then you'll be able to navigate that. Like, okay, you don't have anything right now for me, let me check over here, and they should have something. So I've always signed up, or I've always had like accounts with multiple, and I've always been able to have a job. When I say I've never really went a week out, let me take that back. I probably went about a week to 2 weeks without work. And even then, I had enough saved where it's like, okay, it's not going to hurt me that much. This is kind of like a vacation for me. So I hope you understand that there are some pros and cons to staffing services. Just like there's pros and cons to being hired to a company on their payroll. You're going to always be on your toes, because you don't know what type of changes are going to be made where your job might be completely cut. Okay. So definitely make sure, definitely make sure that you're doing your own research when it comes to these staffing services, making sure they're not like brand new. Make sure they've been in the game for a while. Make sure you check out their reviews and all of that stuff. So right now, I'm just gonna go over some of the staffing services that I happen to find, and the one that I personally use, and which is my number one. For me, is more in the professional realm, and I thoroughly enjoy it. They always find me work, and I'm making money. So that's the main goal, is to make some money. So let's get into it. So one of my staffing services that I utilize is Robert Half, and they are a staffing service that deals with all types of services, from legal, marketing, accounting. They have different divisions for tech and account temps, which is accounting. So I've utilized a few sides of them, but I've utilized account temps through Robert Half mostly, and that's where I've got a lot of my accounting positions. And yes, I do not have a degree or any specialized anything in accounting. As you can see, they have, like I said, entry level. They have attorneys, they have accounts payable. They're big on accounts payable. They have case managers, staffing accountants, customer service, and they're all over the US. Robert Half is, I think, one of the biggest staffing services, but I definitely, employ you to do your research before you get into any type of situation when it comes to any type of staffing service. But I do love them. They're amazing. The next is Kelly Services. Kelly Services, I did work with them as well, but I mostly got work in the industrial field, where I worked in warehouses, and that was okay too. They're also a good place to start. Now, I've never utilized this particular staffing service. It's called Randstad, but they do deal with a lot of tech and a lot of engineering, and I think they pay amazingly. I never worked through them specifically, but I do. But I have worked at a company where they hired through Randstad, and the people that they hired, they were making a lot of money. Because I dealt with the accounting side at this specific facility, so I saw the numbers, and they pay their people really well, especially in the engineering field. So if you're into tech, engineering, and they also deal with other specialties like healthcare, customer service, but I think for me their biggest thing is tech.
But I think most of the staffing services you're going to come across, they will dabble in a lot of other specialties, but they will have a top specialty that they deal with. So if you are interested in that, just do your research, look on their website, and they should be able to help you as well. As you can see the categories. And then, as you can see, they have other stuff in California. They're spread out as well. They're kind of most temp services. They do have a lot of offices, branches in a lot of different states. As you can see, staff accountant. You can be hired on permanently, temp to permanently, or just a contracted worker for a certain amount of time. So you can see the high ranking or highly qualified positions, and even the positions that deal with warehousing, forklift drivers, and things of that nature. You can see they do put their pay rates. They let you know up front what what you may get for these specific positions. Okay, so for healthcare, I think that's a huge one. I don't think a lot of people knew that healthcare, there were staffing services specifically for healthcare. So hopefully this helps someone who has worked in healthcare before and is looking to get their foot back into it, or find some type of place to get employed. This specific one, I think, also deals with internships. It deals with travel nurses. I know that's a big one. Travel nurses is a huge one. Now, as you can see, they have pretty much any position in a hospital. They can assist in placing if they have those positions available. So this is something to really look into if you are in healthcare and you're having a hard time finding a job in healthcare. They should definitely, just reaching out and getting the information will definitely point you in the correct direction for sure. And here's more. This is another healthcare staffing facility. This one is in the state of Ohio. And they may be just specific to parts of Ohio. As you can see, they have like the same travel therapy, travel nursing, and things of that nature. So if you are in a state, you can just look up staffing services for healthcare or healthcare staffing services, and it should pull up something that may be within your state, or something that may be global, so within the United States, that may have different office options for you. And the list goes on. As you can see, just by in the state of Ohio, they have a plethora of different positions that they can fill. So that is a plus, knowing that they have so many different options for you. And as you see, I just, put in Google healthcare services or healthcare staffing, and a list came up. So if you're interested in staffing services, make sure you research. Thank y'all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Now, if you want more detailed information on a specific staffing agency, let your girl know. Leave a comment, okay? Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you share, and all the things. Okay, all this is a mission of making sure our bills are paid. And so I'm hoping somebody gets something good out of this. That's the whole point of this. I want to make sure all my people's is good and we are employed and we can pay our bills, food in the house, because them eggs running up, okay? But tune in next time and make sure you watch other videos. I really appreciate it. Bye.